Hi guys, today I'm 34 weeks and 1 day pregnant. The biggest change for me this past week has honestly been just this mental shift that I've had that I feel like in the past weeks, or just throughout my entire pregnancy, I've always kind of felt like baby's coming in the future. Well, obviously baby's coming in the future. Today baby is still coming in the future. But it's just felt like it was not necessarily a long ways away, but it just felt like it was something that was happening, you know, in the distance. I don't know how else to explain it. This week, I've suddenly felt like, oh my gosh, baby is coming really, really soon. Yeah, so I just had that mental shift where I really went from feeling like baby wasn't coming so soon to like, now I'm like, baby's coming soon. Like, this is really happening, like, soon. And today's actually September 1st, so now I can pretty much say, like, I'm gonna meet my baby next month, like, most likely. Baby's due date is October 12th. There's always the possibility that baby could come, you know, this month, or there's even the possibility that baby could come like early November, but really most likely I'll be meeting my baby next month. And that's just crazy to be able to say that, just because when you say, oh, next month, like, that just is so incredibly soon. I mean, it will be full term in 3 weeks time. Like, I can't believe that. That is just really amazing. Yeah, so that's actually been really exciting feeling that way. Not panicky about it, because honestly, like, I feel like I've been ready and prepared for this baby for a long time. Nesting was something that I went through from very early in pregnancy. So I'm not really doing so much nesting now. I feel like I do have this urge to nest, but I don't have anything to actually nest because everything's ready. I have everything that I need for baby. There is not anything. I mean, I try to think up things that I could possibly purchase. There's nothing. And I haven't purchased anything for baby. And I mean, the most recent things I've purchased for baby were the Aiden and I clothes that I shared in that haul. Was it just last week or was it the week before? I feel like I bought it the week before, but I think I shared it last week. And that was just 3 pieces of clothing. And like, that was the last thing I'd purchased for baby in quite a while as well. I mean, I have my hospital bag packed, I have baby's hospital bag packed, I have my husband's stuff packed in my hospital bag, I have my home birth kit ready to go. Well, I have the stuff that I needed, which isn't very much. Midwife's coming to see the place and drop off the actual home birth kit that they supply in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, like, I have everything that I need done on my end, with the exception of I still have like some snacks I want to pick up to keep in the house for the midwives. Just to, you know, because I don't know how long they'll be in the house for. They might be here for quite a while, maybe not so long if I'm really lucky. Yeah, but I pretty much just have everything done. I mean, I keep the house clean to my standards, so maybe not everybody's standards, but it's definitely clean to my standards. That's just something I've always done, so I didn't really have to do anything with that as far as nesting goes. Everything's ready for baby. I almost feel like I wish I had something left to nest, but I don't. Like, I'm pretty ready. So yeah, there's no anxiety about when baby will come, because baby's welcome when baby's ready. And actually, I'm really looking forward to labor. And you know what? I don't even care if people want to throw negativity my way. I'm really lucky. I haven't had much negativity thrown my way as far as, you know, talk about labor and how it could go wrong. So that's good. But honestly, people could, even if they wanted to, tell me their horror stories. Like, I don't care. I feel really positive about labor. You know, I just feel good about it. Yeah, so I think my next video, I think I'll probably talk about a couple of my like really favorite books that I think anybody who's pregnant should really read, just because it's put me in a really positive headspace for having this baby. And you know, if it's put me in a positive headspace, then maybe it could do that for you guys as well. And I would just, you know, I would recommend them for anybody to read. So I'll talk about that in my next video, probably. I just always say probably because I'm like, I don't know, commitment, so hard to do. Yeah, but yeah, so at 34 weeks is around the time that they recommend if you're gonna do perineal massage. That's when they kind of say you should start. So let's just say I was 34 weeks officially yesterday. I went to do the perineal massage for the first time, and basically, like, I'm not going to be doing the perineal massage. I will just trust my body to do what it's supposed to do. I mean, I don't think it's necessary to do, but it's also like one of those things that if it was comfortable for me, I would be perfectly happy to do it, just because I like to line things up in my favor. You guys have probably noticed that. But basically what happened is I went to do it, and, you know, getting the outside area oiled up, that was perfectly fine and easy. The second I went to, basically what they say to do is to stick your thumbs inside, you know, your girly bits, and you're supposed to press on your perineum and kind of go from the middle and stretch outwards. It was just so engorged and swollen and sore inside that there was no way I was about to like put pressure and then pull on it as well. So basically, as soon as I went in, I came right back out. I was like, that's not happening. The engorgement, I do remember reading like weeks back that that's common from all the extra blood flow that you have in your body. So that area is swollen down there. Not like, I don't know how to say it. It's just, it's more tender. Like, it's not noticeably swollen to my eye, but like as soon as I went inside, I was just like, whoa, off limits, not doing that. So perineal massage is not happening for me, but it's something that you could consider trying, because it is meant to be helpful. To me, it's like one of those things that I feel like maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't help, but regardless, it can't hurt. If you haven't heard of a perineal massage, it's basically you're massaging your perineum area, just from the side of inside of your vagina, not from the anus. And it's meant to help to stretch out that area slowly over time. Not stretch it out, that's not the right. Basically, you're stretching it to get it used to that motion, and it's supposed to basically help you not tear as much or not tear at all, or lessen your chances of needing an episiotomy. And it is kind of one of those things that I feel like, well, it's not really necessary. Like, I kind of think maybe like a lot of tears are more to do, it's going to happen if it's going to happen. You know, the best thing you can do, I think, is actually try to like birth the baby slower instead of faster. But, you know, to me, it's like, it doesn't hurt to do it. So why not try it? Because you never know. But yeah, I'm not doing it because that was painful. Well, it wasn't painful, but I knew it would have gotten painful. So no, not doing it. But you could try it out, because maybe you're not as engorged and swollen as I am down there. Yeah. One of the other changes that I really feel like I've had this week is this past week, I had like a couple days where I was just like really, really tired. They weren't consecutive. They were, I think it was like one day I was really tired. The next day I was fine. And then the next day I was really tired again. And it was like tired where I was just like, every time I would try to get up to do something, I would just like be up for about like 30 minutes, like walking around and stuff. And then I'd just be like, I need to lay down. Like, I need a nap, or I just want to sit in bed and like read, you know, like really, really lethargic. And I'm pretty sure baby was having its little growth spurts, where it was like, you know, putting on weight and everything, and I really feel like baby's actually gotten longer. Kind of have a feeling I might have a long baby. I could be way off, but I think baby's going to be long, mostly just because of where I'm feeling different body parts, and I'm just like looking at my stomach. I actually took measuring tape and I measured from where the head is, well, about where I think the head is, because I'm not sure exactly where the top of the head is, like where it starts and stops. I do know exactly where its bum is, and I can tell exactly where its feet poke out sometimes when it's stretched out. And like, I was coming up with like 20 inches, which is really long for this time in pregnancy for a baby to be. Now it's possible that that could just be the baby's done growing as well, and that it'll just put on fat to this point, and then it'll be a pretty normal sized baby. But if it keeps getting longer, like, it's gonna be a long baby. Like, I feel like I might have a tall kid. Obviously I could be off a bit because, you know, when I'm measuring, like, I'm measuring from the outside, and there was a bit of guesstimation being made as well, but you know, and I might have a little bit of fat layering me, so where baby's foot's sticking out, like, that's not exactly where baby's foot is. Baby's foot is a little bit inwards. But in general, like, even if I'm off, like, I mean, even if I was off by a lot, like an inch on each end, like, that's still 18 inches at, you know, and this is in like 33 weeks and whatever days that I'm measuring. Like, that's still a long baby for that point in time in pregnancy. So I think baby had a growth spurt, A, because I wasn't feeling that kind of length before, and B, my belly is just really feeling heavy, like heavier to me these days. Like, not so heavy that it's like uncomfortable, but like now it's like when I stand up, I actually like feel like, whew, my belly's heavy. And like a lot of times, especially when the baby's like really frontwards, which it is most of the time, like I just really feel like it's like weighing me forward. Yeah, so that's just crazy. Although I will say, oh, you know, I'm saying like, oh, I'm engorged down there and it's sore and my belly's heavy, but actually overall, I feel really good. And I actually think that I've been like kind of going a bit backwards, and I feel like so far I've been feeling better and better in pregnancy as time progresses. Not sure if that's just like more in my head than physical, because I do know like physically, like second trimester, I was doing a lot more exercise and stuff than I'm able to do now. But I just feel so much better. You know, like I don't have any like major aches or pains in this pregnancy so far. I'll knock on wood. But yeah, like I'm enjoying pregnancy. I really like it. Of course I'm excited to meet my baby, but I don't feel like hurried for it to end. Feel good so far. I mean, obviously like a lot changes in how you feel sometimes from week to week. Like sometimes from week to week there's no change and you feel exactly the same. And sometimes like in 1 week, like, or even just in one day, like suddenly something will come up and like it just feels so different than it did from the day before. So, you know, I obviously could get like some serious aches and pains coming my way before baby comes. So, you know, I don't want to get too, oh, I feel really great in pregnancy, like I love being pregnant, but, well, I do love being pregnant, but, you know, obviously there's still time for me to have some more painful moments, but yeah, so far I really enjoy pregnancy, and, you know, I feel like my absolute best right now in pregnancy than I did yesterday. And yesterday I felt really good in pregnancy, and I felt better yesterday than I did the day before that. Like, I just feel like I enjoy it more and more as it progresses, rather than feeling like it's dragging on. I'm very happy that I haven't gotten to the point where it feels like it's dragging on yet. I am doing things to try to make it not drag on, where basically I'm just trying to keep my schedule busy. You know, I'm putting more, not like crazy things, but just outings and stuff. Like, I'm putting more into my schedule than I probably normally would, like even when I wasn't pregnant. And not necessarily activities that require a lot of motion or doing things. Just trying to keep myself busy. Like I really am like planning things. So, you know, I'm not somebody that wants to, it's not like at 40 weeks pregnant, I want to keep my schedule open, like, because I might go into labor. Like, labor is most often something that takes a long time, and from the onset of labor, you've got many hours before you will deliver. So I'm perfectly happy to keep scheduling things as far into as I can handle them. Like, you know, if I get to a point where like physically I really just don't want to be doing things, like that's different. But as long as like physically I feel okay, I'm going to keep planning things. Like, you know, I'm just going to keep planning things. I don't care if I'm 42 weeks pregnant. Like, I still want to keep my schedule full because I don't want to be like sat around just feeling like I'm waiting. Because like that is something that I don't want to feel like, oh baby, like just be born. Like, I just want you to be born. Like, come out already. Like, like, to me that's negative. And I don't want to get into that headspace. Like, I'm not saying that I won't get there because I think it's really hard to not feel that way, but that's why I'm doing things to try to keep myself from getting there. So this week I should have had a midwife's appointment, but my midwife's on holiday this week, so I'll see her next week, which is perfectly fine with me. But basically between 34 and 36 weeks is when most first-time mothers will have baby engage in the pelvis. So I'm kind of curious to know if my baby's engaged, because I kind of feel like maybe baby is engaged, but I'm not really sure. So I am looking forward to next week's appointment to find out, because she can kind of feel for the head and tell if it's engaged or not based on how much of the head she can feel above the pelvis. Now, when I feel in that area, like, I have no idea where the baby's head actually is. I do know that it's still head down, in general, just from like the hiccups, but I have no idea exactly where the head is, but I kind of feel like baby's engaged. One of the things that I just read this week, which I wasn't aware of before, was that when basically around this time is like you might start feeling like a tingly feeling down in your pelvic region, because basically like you've got more relaxin being released into your body to really open up the pelvis to give baby space for it to engage. And when I read that, I was like, oh, my body's been doing this for like maybe like a week already, because I'd started feeling that tingling sensation, and but I'd thought, and like what I'd said to my husband was like, oh gosh, sometimes baby just takes its arm and it like sticks its hand like down my hoo-ha, and it's like really tickling me from the inside. So I thought it was baby taking its hands and tickling me. It makes more sense that it's just tingling from the stretching and the opening, but that was just, you know, that was how my brain could process that feeling. Yeah, so I do think that my pelvis has been working on opening up and giving baby space. I haven't actually felt the lightening feel that they say that you get when baby drops. But I don't think that I will feel that feeling. Like, if baby hasn't engaged yet, like, I still don't anticipate actually feeling a lightening in my stomach, just because my baby has always stayed really low in my stomach, so it's not crunched up here. Like, I've seen a lot of people talk about in their vlogs that, you know, their baby's like either kicking them up here or they feel movement in here. All of my movements have been like around my belly button area and down mostly, and then just a little bit over the belly button area sometimes. Or maybe like, you know, across to the side more, but never up. So I don't think I would notice when the baby drops, because it's already been down for my whole pregnancy. I've only ever felt higher feet on 2 occasions. Obviously baby may have stretched out more times than that, but not that I've noticed or been aware of. But in general, baby's always in like a really tight fetal position, or when it does stretch its legs out, because it's on my left-hand side, it stretches its legs out towards the side, not up. It could go up if it wanted to, because on the couple occasions that I felt it, it was up here. But generally, I feel it coming off to the side. So that's just how baby prefers to give itself a stretch out. It's probably because I am quite wide coming across with my stomach. But yeah, so I'm not expecting to feel a lightening. So I do kind of feel like there's the possibility that baby's engaged, and I just haven't felt the actual difference in it. So I'm looking forward to the next appointment just to see if baby's like in position and like ready. Just because, you know, I think it's really comforting to know, especially because like I've been so paranoid about keeping baby in a good position, you know, throughout this pregnancy. And basically once baby's engaged, like you have a much lower possibility of baby like flipping around. I think it's still possible, but it's really not likely. And I will say, they say that most first pregnancies baby will engage between 34 and 36 weeks, but that does not happen for everybody. So if your baby does not go into an engaged position, like it's not really something to worry about. Like some babies don't go into an engaged position until right before labor begins. Some will never become engaged, and it actually takes labor starting and contractions for baby to get pushed down into your pelvis. And it doesn't, you know, baby could be in a good position that whole time and then, you know, not be engaged, but still you could have like a great birth. So it's not something to like worry about, but it is something that when you know your baby's engaged, it's like, it's good to know. Yeah, so I think that's all I have to talk about this week. So I'll see you guys next week. Well, I'll see you later this week, and then I'll see you next week for my 35-week update, and I'll find out whether or not baby's engaged. So I will speak to you guys then. Bye. Thank you. I don't know how I keep forgetting the bump shot. So here is my 34-week bump. And this is it without the shirt. Like, I really do feel like it is down. Like, really coming down. So I kind of feel like baby may have dropped, but I'll find out next week. Isn't baby beautiful? That's my baby. All right, guys. Bye.